Good morning, Luca. You have to get busy, making more crazy copies of yourself, eating a bit, growing a bit, dividing into two, and carrying on. Eat, grow, divide, repeat. Eat, grow, divide, repeat. Life is underway. It's as easy as 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. With all that dividing and doubling, quite soon there was a lot of Lucas sitting around. Each was slightly different from the others, of course, because of the crazy way they rebuilt themselves. That's good. From now on, your differences were going to get greater, as some of you evolved into plants, others into fungi, or birds, or fish, or reptiles, or mammals, a planet-sized variety show. Another slightly crazy thing about you was your skin, that bubble that surrounded you, which leaked. This was useful, actually, because a lot of what trickled in was food, but often weird molecules leaked in as well. You would do experiments with the strange molecules, snip them and stick them to make new molecules, and then keep them if they were useful or squeeze them out if they weren't. Sometimes you squeezed out carbon dioxide, as you do now when you breathe, because you didn't want it. Other Lucas nearby were happy with this. They were becoming plants, so they liked carbon dioxide and sucked it up. They squeezed out oxygen, which leaked into you, and you liked that. We've been friends with plants ever since. We do swaps. Their oxygen exchanged for our carbon dioxide. Sometimes your snipping and sticking made acids. What use could that be? You discovered that acids could be very useful indeed. Here I must warn you that the next few lines may seem a little unpleasantly crazy, but I have to tell the truth, so prepare yourselves, and please don't try this at home. You could eat your neighbours. Your acid dissolved their skin, so you could suck up the useful molecules inside and turn them into new bits of you. This meant you didn't have to build yourself from raw atoms. You could use ready-made molecules from the meal. Your children could do the same, of course, and their children, and soon everybody was using this brilliant new trick to help them grow. You will notice that this is what animals do now. We eat, and we are eaten. And some animals still dissolve their meals first, outside the stomach, then suck up the juices, for instance, flies. So now all the Lucas had to evolve thick skins to stop themselves from being dissolved by their neighbours on one side, and at the same time, of course, try to evolve new ways to eat the neighbours on the other side. Soon some animals started swallowing their meals in one gulp, then dissolving them slowly with their acids inside. And some animals today swallow their meals whole, for instance, snakes. One day you met a Luca you'd never met before. He was a bit bulky, but no matter, you swallowed the stranger just like that. Immediately you were full. No need to eat anything else for a while. You could settle down to dissolve your meal nice and slow for a day or so. But the meal refused to be eaten. It would not dissolve. It just sat inside you looking cross. You can imagine the conversation. "If you stop trying to dissolve me for a moment," says the meal, "we might come to an arrangement." "Excuse me," say you. "I'm not in the habit of talking to my food. Please sit there quietly while I digest you." "Really, truly, I could be useful to you. In fact, I already am. Tell me, do you feel a little tingling?" "Is that you making me tingle like that?" say you. "If so, could you please stop? I'm becoming very agitated." "Precisely. That tingle is caused by my energy, which I'm giving to you. That's what makes you feel so energetic. What you will do for me is to feed me and look after me." "What? No, this is not what I swallowed you for. I'll take the energy, but I'll dissolve you too if you don't mind." "Well, you can try, but you won't manage it. You will find you're stuck with me. Never mind, as a repayment, you will rule the world." And the cheeky intruder immediately bursts into 2, then 4, and starts to fill your belly with her children. You were shocked, but also you felt more alive than ever before. The indigestible truth was that you did end up ruling the world. Your meal was called mitochondria, and what they gave you was like what batteries give to torches. Mitochondria powered you up. You could eat more, grow bigger, faster, and evolve better than all your cousins, and to this day nearly every cell in every living thing has hundreds of mitochondria in them. And the mitochondria all have their own DNA, different from yours, as if they could just pack up and leave any moment if they felt like it. So that was a crazy experiment that worked. Here are some more. A bit later, your crazy knitting produced a molecule that twitched. It twitched and made you twitch. You moved. Through the crowd of sleepy lookers you twitched, into the open water you twitched, and as you twitched around you found food. From now on you wouldn't have to wait for food to come to you, you could go to the food. You had discovered movement. Later the twitchy molecule evolved into a flagellum, which is like a long whippy propeller that drives the cell around. You left behind you a vast carpet of immobile cells, just sitting there waiting and hoping for the next meal to drift their way. You know, they haven't gone away. They're still around, doing very well, hanging on everywhere, stuck to nearly every rocky surface of the planet, including a brilliant place to live if you want to be fed regularly. On your teeth. Dental plaque. With your new flagellum, you could do some good tricks. You could find food and keep away from poisons. Here's how. If you were near poison, some would leak in and make your flagellum agitated. It twitched quickly, which made you dance. You danced in all directions, but the farther away from the poison, the less you danced. So you tended to move away from the poison. And if the fragrance of food leaked in, you danced even less. When you were actually next to the food, you danced, as you can guess, not at all. You ate the food. It's not the best way to avoid pain and head for pleasure, but it's the best way if you haven't got a brain. Another experiment made a molecule that twitched when light hit it, and the twitch made the flagellum twitch. So now you could move towards the light, where you will find food basking in the sunshine. From the outside, this looks like being clever. It seems like intelligence, but only a few molecules were involved. We can't call it a brain, not yet. With your clever flagellum, you had a new name, flagellate. Are you nearly here yet? You are flagellate. Admittedly, you are an animal with only one cell. Modern humans have 40 trillion cells, but check your talents. You have a light-sensitive molecule, the makings of an eye, a flagellum to move you around, an early fin, the beginnings of a nose, mitochondria to make energy, a defensive skin to avoid being eaten, acids to help you eat anything that comes close enough, and of course, a strand of DNA with that vital atom of carbon in it. You are practically perfect. Surely nothing could possibly go wrong.